Today I'm going to be showing you lesson 2.3 senior class fundraiser. Before we get started with this assignment, can you please pause this tutorial and get your desktop set up the way that you see mine here? So I have two windows open. On one side I have this lesson 2.3, and on the other side I have my Google Drive open. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my video. You do the same and set your desktop up. We'll return when you are finished. Okay, so you should be getting ready to start lesson 2.3. Your drive is open just to your main Google Drive page. Before we do anything, what I want to do is I want to um, take care of some housekeeping, something that we should be getting in the habit of doing every single time we start a new project or start a new week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to minimize my window over here. And I want you to see what my desktop looks like. So my desktop is pretty clean. The reason why you want to keep your desktop pretty clean is because your computer runs better when it doesn't have to think about all the files that it has to open on your desktop. So any files that you currently have open on your desktop in this moment, what I want you to do is find them a home somewhere in your folders that you created on your Google Drive. So if I go to my drive and then I go to the folder that we created for this class, 2022, Mrs. Norris, I have my code screenshots, I have my PDFs, and I have my Tinkercad images. What I want to do before I do anything is I'm going to change the name of the folder that says PDFs. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to rename. So again, what I did was I selected the folder, or I'm hovering over the folder and I'm right clicking. And then I'm going to rename it to Google PDFs and screenshots, because I know many of you were concerned about having a spot for your screenshots that you put into your Google. So if you could go ahead and pause your tutorial and rename your PDFs folder to Google PDFs and screenshots, and then we'll continue when you are done. All right, so we've renamed a folder, which is good. That's a new skill that some of us have learned. Now what I want you to do is I'm going to have you pause the tutorial again in a moment, and any files that you have on your desktop that don't have a home, your desktop should be completely clean. I want you to put them into one of the folders that you created on your Mrs. Norris Google Drive folder. So you're just going to drag and drop them to where they need to go. Let's pretend that this is something that I'm going to need. I'm going to drag and drop them. If I don't have a specific folder that it would fit into, I can always put it anywhere as my files, but I want to avoid doing that because, again, we want to keep our desktop and our drive organized. So any documents that you have on your desktop, I want you to drag and drop them onto your Google Drive Mrs. Norris folder into their correct folder. Now, what you've probably noticed as we've been doing this is that you've got your file still on your desktop. All you're doing by dragging and dropping it onto your Google Drive is you are creating a copy of it on your drive. It means we no longer need the one that is on our desktop. So you're going to want to go ahead and drag that into your trash can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it into my trash can by hovering over my trash can with it opened up, my trash can folder, which is fine. And I've got a bunch of stuff here that I no longer need. So once everything has been positioned into its spot onto my Google Drive, and I've got just the copies left over on my desktop, I'm going to go ahead and move anything left over into my trash. And then I'm going to go to the trash and I'm going to empty it. So the way that I did that was I right clicked and I emptied the trash, or you can also double click on the trash folder and empty it from here. So if you could go ahead and pause the tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and close that. I don't need that. Pause this tutorial here. Any files that you've added to your Google Drive that you no longer need, which should be all of them, you're going to put into your trash can and empty your trash. All right, so your desktop should be totally clean and you are ready to get started. Mine still has stuff on it, and that's okay. I'm different from you. So everything has its home here. We are going to be working on Google Docs today, so I'm going to go ahead and double click on my docs, and I'm going to start a new document. So I'm going to click on the new button and new Google Doc. All right, so we're ready to get going. I'm going to look at our how will I know that I've learned it. Our what and our why have not changed at all while we've been working on these Google tasks, just our how will I know that you've learned it. So today we're going to focus on editing features in Google Docs that are going to help us change the wording of a memo. So we have a list of new skills that we're going to be learning today. We have what we need to name our Google Doc, and we have the text that we are going to copy into our Google Docs. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to change the name. Again, you are putting your own first and last name, not the words first and last name. So let's say my name is, I'm just going to put my name, Mrs. Norris, and this is lesson, lesson 2.3. If you could pause the tutorial and rename your document, we'll continue when you are done. I'm going to go ahead and hit return, and that will save that that file name. And now I'm going to continue on with the rest of my lesson. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be typing this document exactly the way that we see it here. Okay, so the part that gets most students in trouble is this top section where the subject, to, from, and date are located. Now, what many students do, which is a bad habit that they have, is they just press the space bar to create the space between the colon and the first word senior. But then when you try to do it for the next one, your words don't always line up. So instead, what you should be using is your tab button. If you look at your keyboard, your tab button is on the far left side of your keyboard, and it's above the caps lock folder or the caps lock button. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you just the first part of this. So in all caps, I'm going to type memorandum, and then I'm going to hit the return button once, and then subject. And again, what I'm going to do is hit the tab button one time. Okay, and then I'm going to type senior class fundraiser, and then hit return one time, the word to, and then hit the tab button. And you can see it lines up exactly underneath the word senior. So I'm going to put Hamilton High School student body. And then next line, the word from, tab. And then it says first and last name. I'm going to put my own first and last name. So Mrs. Norris, comma, fundraising chairperson. And then I'm going to do the next one, date. And again, tab will take me directly underneath where I need to be. Today's date where you are probably starting this is December. Tomorrow would be the 16th, 2022. Okay. I don't need that. So by using the tab button, it's created this calendar event that I don't need. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete and just actually put in December. That's Friday, December 12th. So put it whatever date today is. Okay. Now I'm going to hit return 2 times. That will give me the skipped space that I need, and I'm going to start typing. Now remember, we're going to type all the way to the end, even though on our text to copy, the line stops at calendar. I'm just going to keep typing, and Google Docs will take me to the next line where that needs to happen. Between the words, the first paragraph and the second paragraph, you're going to hit return 2 times. Same for between the second and the third paragraph, hit return 2 times to go down another line. And then with the final third and fourth paragraphs, hit the return button 2 times. lines. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my tutorial and I'm going to type those 4 paragraphs. You go ahead and do the same. All right, so my paragraphs are typed and I'm ready to begin editing. So what you're going to want to do first is look for any of those red lines underneath your words. Those red lines are going to tell you that the word is misspelled and you need to find a way to, or you need to spell it correctly, excuse me. So you can see here, this has a blue line. So if I right click on it, it's going to tell me what I should change it to. So it looks like I might have left out a word. So I'm going to go back to the document that I was copying. It says scholarships for, and it looks like I only put scholarships are. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to scholarships for are. I'm going to agree with that suggestion and use it by clicking on it. Okay. What you should notice again is that I have the extra space between each paragraph. I didn't stop at the word calendar. I continued typing and Google sent me down to the next line automatically. So yours should look similar to mine in that way. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some cutting and pasting. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight or select the subject line. Okay, so I can do it by clicking and dragging my mouse, or I can triple click the line. So again, 1, 2, 3 will take the whole line. So I'm going to, again, select the first line, the subject line, and I'm going to cut. So there are a few ways that you can cut. You can go to edit and you can cut. You can select and right click and you can cut. Okay, so I'm gonna, or you could, if you're on a Mac, looking at your keyboard, you can select the line and do Command X to cut. Okay, either one of those will work. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to paste it. So I'm going to go after today's date, which is December 12th, 2022, whatever your date is for today. That's what you should have put here. I'm going to go ahead and hit return one time. And again, you have a few different ways that you can paste it. You can right click and paste. You can go to edit and paste. Or if you're on a Mac, where we are in the Chromebook or in the computer lab, you can do Command V as in victory to paste. Okay, so Command X to cut, Command V to paste. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to copy and paste. So we're going to copy this first line, this first sentence that says, as always, Hamilton High School is reaching out for your support. You have 3 options, just like with cutting and pasting. You can go to the edit menu, you can right click, or you can Command C on your Mac keyboard to copy. Okay, so any one of those things, edit and copy. You can right click and copy, or you can highlight and you can Command C as in cat on your keyboard. So I've copied that. And now what I want to do is I want to paste it. So we're going to go to the end of the last paragraph here. So I'm at the words main office, the period, and I'm going to hit the space bar one time and I'm going to use Command V, or I can right click and I can paste. Okay, so I've copied and pasted. We learned how to cut and paste. We learned how to copy and paste. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to find and replace. Okay, we're going to learn how to find and replace. So I am going to go to the top word, the word memorandum, and I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to select everything by looking at my keyboard, and on my Mac keyboard, Command A to select everything. You can also drag your mouse to select everything. Okay, and I believe there is an option, not here. So I'm going to drag my mouse and select everything. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go to my edit and I'm going to find and replace. So again, that's in my edit menu, find and replace. Okay. And what we want to find and replace is we're going to find Hamilton High. So I'm going to delete all of that by selecting. And in fact, what I'm going to do is close this. If you have it open, close it as well. And I'm just going to go up to the word memorandum. I'm going to put my cursor right in front of the word memorandum, and then I'm going to go back to that find and replace. Okay. By selecting all of it, it automatically entered that into our find bar, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to do find and replace. So my cursor is up here by the word memorandum, edit, find and replace. And we're going to find the title Hamilton High School. Okay, so we're going to find Hamilton High School. We're going to change it to just Hamilton High. And we are going to replace all. So what it will do is it will replace the words Hamilton High School in the to line and in the first sentence of our first paragraph and in the last sentence of our last paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to hit replace all and then X out of it. Okay, so you can see that it's been changed to Hamilton High here, Hamilton High here, and Hamilton High here. So go ahead and pause your tutorial and do find and replace. All right, so now our last new editing feature that we're going to learn how to do is how to indent just a specific part of a full text of information. So usually what we would do is we would indent like the beginning of a paragraph. You would use your tab key to do that, but we're not doing that this time. Okay, so everything is still lined up on the left-hand side. What we are going to do is we're going to increase the an indentation of an entire paragraph. So we're going to select the third paragraph here. Please do the same. And we are going to use the indent tool. So here are our indent tools. If you can't see them because your screen is too small, so let's say, for example, my screen is this small and I don't see those indent tool buttons. If you click on the three dots, the ellipses, you can find them here. Okay, you can also move your screen open a little wider and you can find them that way. Okay, so my third paragraph is selected and I'm going to hit the indent, increase indent. Okay, so it's going to increase this paragraph's indent to the right. So just like that. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to center align the word memorandum. So I'm going to select the word memorandum. I'm going to center align it. And I am going to make it bold. So bold and center align. We're going to change the line spacing of our to, from, and subject area up here to double. So I'm going to click and drag to the end of the word fundraiser. I'm going to go to my line spacing button and I'm going to double space. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure that I have no more spelling errors or anything like that. And I'm ready to submit this. So to submit, again, we're going to go to File, Download, PDF. And on your Canvas page, you have the ability to submit. You have the rocket ship. Click on the rocket ship and you can find this PDF. Everything should be saving onto your desktop. So File, Download, PDF. And you can see that it's going to save directly to my desktop. That's what yours should do as well. If it doesn't, raise your hand and I will help you with that. Okay. Before I move on, I'm going to go back to my Docs folder on Drive. And then I'm going to go to my main Mrs. Norris folder and I'm going to find my Google PDFs folder and I'm going to open that. I'm going to drag and drop this assignment there. And then I'm going to drag and drop it into my trash can. Now, don't drag and drop it into your trash can until you have submitted it. So please make sure that you submit it first, and then you can put it into your trash can. Okay, so remember, our whole goal is to make sure that we're keeping our desktop clean. It's just going to help our computer run smoother. Okay, so when you are done, make sure you submit it onto Canvas, and that you put it into your Google PDFs folder and put it into the trash can. Okay, that's a good habit to have to keep your desktop clean.